Hey, so hi everyone. This is Divyanshu and welcome to my podcast. So this is what I'm starting now, a daily kind of podcast. I'll try to make it daily, but the main idea is कि I will be talking about my day, what's happening in my days, what I'm working on, what kind of projects I'm working on, and in general the tech news which I'm interested in. So this will be a format which I have seen a lot of developers doing these kind of formats, and I was really excited because one, this gives you an accountability to share something, what's happening, and second, instead of wasting time, which I usually do at this hours, like after 6 or 7, is just wasting time on either watching a YouTube video or watching something on Netflix, because I do not want to code at this time. I do not want to use my like logical brain because that hinders with my sleep. So I wanted to do something in this time which also creates something and gives me a sort of accountability. So this is my way of doing that. Now, how to involve in this session, right? So this is a podcast. I'll try to submit it in as many platforms as possible. I haven't thought of anything right now. I just started my camera, and this is my way of just talking in front of the camera, thinking of you as a friend who really want to know about what I'm doing. The idea is you just put your headphones. If you are going for a run, just put a headphone, listen to me rambling, and I'll try to give you some information which will be helpful for you, because I do go through the depth of internet to find some interesting topics. I go through the threads of Reddit to find some interesting topics. So I will try to make sure that whenever you are listening my ramblings for 20-25 minutes, you are getting out of it something. It's not just my daily stand-up task which I am be talking about. It's mostly I'll try to put some information here. Uh, yeah, so that's about it. Let's start. As you can see, first of all, like let me just tell you what's happening in my life in the beginning, so that we are in the context of what's going on. So one thing is, I left my like a full-time job last year in 2023 in September, and since then I had a plan that in 2024 I'll spend most of my time in building something of my own. It could be a side project, it could be an app, it could be anything, but something which I'm good at, and I'm good at like building things, building softwares. So, but I do not want to jump into this directly. So what I did, I thought, let's take a break. Let's go on an all India drive with my wife. And we both packed our bag and we started traveling from my hometown, which is in Haldwani, to Rajasthan, and from Rajasthan to Maharashtra, from Maharashtra to Goa. We covered a lot of distance, and we were traveling for almost 20 days, 20-25 days. We were staying in cheap hotels, we were eating food outside, we were camping as well. We had our camping gear in our car. So it was a nice journey for 30 days, 20-25 days, sorry. After that, we camped in Goa, and the first thing which I did after landing in Goa is this creepiness of thought came in me, right? Like, what's happening, bro? You will not be getting any salary this month. But I had a safety net, like I have a good saving already made in the couple of years. I've been working for 10 years now. So I thought it's fine. I can put my savings, but let's see if I am good at what I'm talking about, what I'm going to do. Can I make $100 in 10 days? That's what I wrote in a Notion sheet. I can show you, right? Let me just bring it here. So if you see here, you will see like this was my target, make $100 in 10 days. This is the one thing which I did when I was in Goa. We had our own home. We rented a short-term apartment, and I was sitting in front of my computer after a long time, and this is what I wrote. Because was a proof of concept. If I am even able to do this by myself, I have done this before in past, like few years back, but do I still have this capability to do this? So I wrote it. On the journey only, I thought of this idea. Okay, I'll create an AI short.in kind of website where users can create their profile pictures, not profile pictures, but AI generated images with a WhatsApp bot. Because this is what I wanted. because when I was traveling, I did not have my computer. I cannot go through these websites, web apps, or mobile apps. It's very clunky. I thought the idea is super simple. You just type a message like, I want to imagine myself as an astronaut, or I want to imagine myself as Iron Man. I can just send a message on WhatsApp, and the WhatsApp replies me that, hey, you looks like this. Uh, if you want to imagine yourself as Iron Man. I've tried finding something similar, but there was nothing. So I thought, this is a good idea. Let's build it. It will be fun for me to run this project, and it will be fun for maybe users, or maybe users are willing to pay for this. So I built a very basic MVP in 3 days, 2 or 3 days. Yeah. This was mostly the plan, like how the MVP will be developed, how I'm going to market it, and everything. There was a plan, everything, time bound this experiment. So this I started in 24th of October. I launched it on 4th of November on Product Hunt, and to be honest, um, it was a success. So I generated a lot of revenue from this product. It went really good on Product Hunt. It went really good on Reddit. I posted about it on Reddit, and still till today, there are constantly users who are using this product, and I haven't heard anyone complain. I think I have refunded only 2 or 3 people because they submitted very similar photos, and the AI cannot train their model very well. So their outputs were bad. But I'm like very transparent. If someone does not like the output, I just refund it immediately. So this gave me a lot of confidence. Like, yes, I can do this. We can, like, I can generate the online money if I want to. And now coming back, like, what are the things I'm working on then since then? So AI shot is one thing which I did, and after a while I stopped marketing it because, well, it was generating quite a okay revenue, not something like life changing, but it's decent enough that it's running its own cost plus some extra which already, like, always credits on my bank. I do not plan to expand it more. I'm even talking to 2 buyers right now who wants to buy it, but a big but, the technology which I built this product with is stable diffusion plus LoRa training, and right now there are better solutions in the market in AI domain. There is instant ID, which I saw is like a one-shot image generation. You give it one image of yourself without even training. It replies with your own, like, custom profile picture or custom prompt related picture. So I don't think this tech is that good right now. Like, I can replace the backend, I can put a couple of hours, but I don't think there is huge demand on it. The market is too crowded. There are so many players because Instant Shot is like just one single API which you can integrate in any client and basically make it the similar product. So I don't want to spend my time on this. I can put my time and effort on building something better. So that's the reason I'm currently not putting many hours in this product. Then there is an old product which, so this is AI Sidekick. This I built not to generate money. Basically, this was my idea last year. Even while I was working in my company, I was putting some hours on this on my weekends. And this was a very big idea. Like, I have a huge vision for this. I thought this could be huge product. Even still date, there is no such thing in the market. And while working on this, I found out the problem is not that easy to solve. It can, like, someone can easily build this, but if I put my single person's coding hours in this, it will need minimum 6 months of constant coding for 8 hours a day. And with the advancements happening in AI, anything can happen. So I do not want to put 6 months coding this product alone. That's the thing. So I tried getting funding for this product. I submitted it for YC as well in the last batch, and I could not get into it because obviously there was no MVP even. It's very basic MVP I have created, but it does not do what it says in the landing page right now. It does a lot of things though. I'm using it for most of my backends on all of my apps. So this is the product which I use for the backend of my existing apps, which are easy to make. Let me go through the idea. The idea was cool. So basically, you create these AI agents. I built it in 2023 when there was no GPTs launched by OpenAI. So this is something similar to GPTs, but uh, a bit more complicated than that. So basically, what it can do, for example, if you create, like I thought I'll create a lot of agents here. Let's say if there is a software engineer agent or a DevOps agent. So you can talk to the DevOps agent and you can say, hey, I'm getting this error on our Kubernetes cluster. Can you fix this? You just send this message to the agent. And then agent will say, okay, please give me your AWS keys or your GCP keys or anything, any access. So it will give you some options. You can click, enter your credentials. It will say, okay, I see in the logs that there is a CPU outage, like CPU has closed one of your cluster, and that's the reason it's not restarting. Or what I can do is I can shut down this and maybe re-enable it again. It will give you the solution in the chat, and it will give you two options, like, okay, execute or cancel. So you'll say execute, and it will run these queries on your behalf because it has access which you have given already, and it will say, okay, as I can see, the IAM service is running back again. The CPU usage is now at 20%, or memory usage is 10%. Maybe after a while you can say, hey, agent, what is the condition of my systems right now? It will know your prompt. It will know what you're asking for. It will go, and it already knows you have given it AWS access credentials. It has stored it in its database. So it will go directly to AWS. It will connect to your backend services. It will see the logs or the metrics based on the CloudWatch datasets, and it will give you the reply in a very human readable format. Okay, so your CPUs are running fine. Maybe your memory usage is a bit higher today than normal, whatever, like based on the data which it gets from your AWS backend clients, right? It was like, if we can have something like this, like I have myself worked on a lot of backends, and I have seen how these systems can just crash, or how much visibility or observability you need if you're building some huge backend systems. This can be a huge time saver, right? If you can have something like this. So that's what I thought we can build. Now, it's not about like software engineering problems. I thought of like an HR specialist agent. So you can give this HR some permissions. For example, you can give it your LinkedIn accounts permissions, you can give and write access to a Google Sheet, and you can give some email APIs where it can email by herself. So then you can say, hey, find me JavaScript engineers with 2 to 3 years of experience. Now this agent will automatically log into your LinkedIn. It will start searching with the particular query which you have given. It will click on the messages tab on the users who are interested, or it will just copy their links and name in a Google Sheet, and then it will show you, hey, I have found like 200 people according to what you asked for, or candidates what you asked for. And then you can say, like, okay, just send a message to anyone who is open to work right now, who is either working for last 5 years in the same company, or who just left 6 months back from his company, or 1 month back. You can ask anything, and then it will automatically go and send these emails. So you just talk to this HR agent which is working for you. uh, it again, such a time saver. And the best part is you can create a lot of such agents by yourself. So I was planning to build a workflow builder, which is something like Zapier does or Integromat does. It basically creates these automations, and here the API AI will be creating these automations for you, and it will give you suggestions. If you, whatever your problem is, it will find a workflow for you. I think Zapier might be the one who will do this, or has already done this, but I don't know. I don't see anyone has done this before right now. And then I was thinking of creating a lot of SDKs, because the plan was to bring AI to every platform. Like, I do not want to open a web browser like ChatGPT client or Claude client to write a message and then get a reply. For example, if I use a lot of Discord, I can just talk to my agent, which I ask questions from in Discord, or I can just ask on Slack. I can ask on WhatsApp. So the agent has this facility to be connected anywhere, any chat platform, because it just needs text queries and it can reply text responses. And there are a lot of platforms which do this. I do not have to specifically go to ChatGPT website, which is, I don't feel good using that website. It's it's my choice. I want to use something native like Slack, Discord, WhatsApp, anything. So this was the grand vision for AI Sidekick. Now this product is still, it works basically. If you go here, it's free and it works. I have given like GPT-3 and GPT-4 accesses in this platform, and there is no pricing, there is no any such thing right now, and I can disable access anytime, right? I'm not putting many coding hours on this product as of now. I have a plan to pivot it something to something different, to something very niche, not such grand, but not right now. The second product, which I have already told, AI short.in, this has done really well after, since I have left my job. And this got like 42 upvotes on Product Hunt. People were super excited when I launched. A lot of people commented me that they find the results to be really, really good. And I have done some tweaks on the back end. It's not just giving a call to the API and it's returning the results. I have done a lot of pipelines in between, which make sure your results are the best compared to the other apps which are out there. So yeah, you can even try. I put not much effort on building this. So in terms of ROI, I got the best ROI from this product so far. Since I left my job and started working on this, this is the best one which worked. Again, as I mentioned, not working on this regularly in the AI short right now. Now, one of the product which I built, I think 2023, mid of 2023, it's for my own problem. So I was trying to lose weight and I was trying to calculate the calories I intake. And I was using two apps. One was MyFitnessPal and another was Healthify Me. It's an Indian app. I found that even if I want to type, hey, I ate an apple, it takes 10 taps, then a search, then it gives you some results, and then you have to select one apple, what size. So much hassle. Like if a person who is tracking his whole day, the friction to just enter something is so huge that मैं खुद बहुत distract हो जाता था कभी कभी, और I used to avoid that. So I thought, okay, let's do one thing. Let's make a WhatsApp bot which can again ask, I can tell him, hey, I ate one apple. It will figure out how many calories an apple has, how many carbs, protein. It will give you a macro pack breakdown, everything. It just, if it's confused, it will ask me what size of the apple was. Otherwise, I can just say, hey, I ate a small apple. I'm not super concerned about exact accuracy of the calories I take. I just want to get an approx lump sum figure, so I know I'm in a calorie deficit or I'm in calorie like I have expanded my calorie intake. So again, this product did very, very well, not monetary wise, but user wise. Like I got a lot of praise. I got a lot of buying requests for this bot back then. Even like last couple of months back, I saw in Product Hunt or in even a company, a YC company, who was building something in health domain, and they launched something exactly similar to this. And I'm pretty sure they saw this already and they were inspired with the macro breakdown, because their macros are shown exactly like what I showed here in my messages. So that was a very proud moment. This again, I did not build it for money wise. I built it to solve my own problem. I even played with the calories.in because I was not getting calories. So I thought calories, like ease your calorie intake. So calories.in. And that's how I got the domain name as well. Till date, I'm using this product. Whenever like I ate a lot, for example, if I ate a lot last night, I try to minimize my calorie the other day, and I use this bot a lot. And I noticed like couple of, like I think 40-50 users are still using it, and it's working super fine. I have no plans to monetize it yet. Even I saw like GPT-4 and Claude 3 has launched their image recognition, or send an image and get a reply kind of APIs. I thought of integrating that in this bot, but I do not have the time and bandwidth to do that. Plus, it's working really fine for me. So it's solving the problem. I have no problem. So this is a product which I built. And the last thing is about a newsletter which I am writing every month since I left my job, since October. So I started this from a feedback from someone who I really admire on Twitter. He's also something in the same domain as where I am. He left his job and now he's full-time working. He has a huge product, and I think his MRR is where I want to reach, and so I admire this guy. And he suggested, like, I was writing a lot on Twitter, so I wrote like, hey, sometimes writing in Twitter feels like just shouting in the void because I don't have a lot of followers, and it's just talking to yourself. So he suggested, instead of writing these small scripts, what you can do is write a whole monthly update and think of it like it's going to your investors, which was really, really exciting. And that's why I named it like being the CEO of my life. I thought I am trying to build something on my own. So it's kind of a company I'm building. And let's think of it as a one-man company, which I'm building, and I'm the CEO, and it will sort out my life. So it's kind of like being the CEO of my life, and I'm giving these investor updates. So that's what I have even, let me just show you quickly. So if you're watching on YouTube, you can see my dashboard. Here it is. The classic notion, today it's slow. So investor update newsletter. So I started writing it in October, then November, then in December and January I merged into just single. I lost a bit of interest, plus I was traveling, plus my family was visiting. It was too much back then, so I couldn't write in December, but then I write it in January for both December and January. And then recently I launched one for Fab, where I wrote something like, I read in a podcast and I got a lot of feedbacks from 2-3 users who are regularly reading my newsletters. There are not much, but I think some of them, one of them is the same guy which I'm talking about who inspired me to write this. So yeah, so these are basically the product which I have built or worked on. And right now, as of now, what I'm doing is I am working on a product with someone who has a huge following on Twitter. I met him from Twitter only, and we have been collaborating on a product. I don't know if I can share a lot about that product right now publicly, because we are going to launch it this month or next month. It's almost in its final stages and we are just fixing some bugs. But the product is kind of Loom, if you know about Loom. So Loom allows you to share, like, a screen record and share a link to someone who wants to watch it. It's exactly like that, but with a twist. Like, it adds some automatic animations into your video. It makes it very interesting, and the prospect is not general consumers, it's mostly for businesses. So it's a B2B product targeted only for sales teams who wants to get more leads. First of all, we were thinking of naming it something. Okay, let me just not talk about it. I don't know how much I can share, and I have some ownership in that product. I am the only developer, only backend developer, only front-end developer. I am just building it from scratch, and I'm getting help from one of the designer, and then we are going to see how we market it. I want to see how the market would respond to something like this, because we are internally using it, and it's been fun building it. It's my first Mac application which I built. It's built on Electron, and this was my first time building such a huge app with Electron, and it was really interesting. I see my apps icon in my menu bar. It feels nice. So that's about it. And what else? Okay, so I think it's enough to talk about what's happening in my life or what has happened. What we can talk about now is a little bit about AI, because this is something which comes a lot in my timelines. And dev in AI is, I hope you have already heard a little news about this, like how dev in AI is going to replace software engineers. I don't think so. Dev in AI is going to replace software engineers. I don't even think Dev in AI is going to replace Copilot. I wrote a tweet what is the name? It's Devin, right? Yeah, Devin AI. Cognition Labs. So you know what interesting thing about the founder of Cognition Labs? He's a math genius. So I read a tweet. Someone said like, "Hey, who do you think like Devin AI is using Chat GPT 4 as a wrapper?" And then someone shared a very old video of the founder of Devin, the Cognition Labs CEO who have built Devin AI. He's like a math whiz. He's in a participating in some maths Olympiad and answering it so quickly. And he said, I think ChatGPT 4 is using this person behind the scenes. So, like, all your GPT 4 queries are going to this guy and he's answering your queries. And so, yeah, cognition. I don't think this is Cognition Labs. Cognition Labs, this one. To hire Devin for engineer work, please join here. Okay, I haven't joined the wait list, so let me just quickly fill the form. Oh yeah, I also saw someone wrote in Twitter is, if Devin AI is so good, then why are they using this Google form? Why didn't they ask Devin AI to build a form for them? This is such a bullshit. So these are some of the things which I really, uh, which were really interesting to me. Like, if your Devin AI is going to replace software engineers, why are you not using it in your own softwares to build things? Why are you using this ugly Google form for the waitlist, right? The answer would be like, it's in beta, we are still developing it. But to be honest, see, what I see is not new. We have already seen there are auto GPTs, there are these agents which are doing things. Doing a couple of small things on internet versus writing a software are very, very different things. Someone who is writing softwares for last 10-15 years, I know software development is not just code. Code is, I think, just 20% of the software development. That's the 20% part. 80% is the planning, the execution, the distribution, and thinking in large, modularity, thinking of how you are going to scale it, what problems you are going to solve, how you are going to solve those problems. There are so many things in software development. I am building this product. I am using GPT-4, Claude 3. I'm using all the latest and greatest AI techs right now to build these systems. But I know the limitations of these systems, the LLMs, how the fundamentals of these systems are not built to replace a full-fledged software engineer. You cannot just say, hey, build me an app which does this and this and looks like this, and it's going to give you, and there will be no software engineer needed. You can just publish it. I wish there will be time, because I'm a person who is not like in love with coding, right? If I can do things without the code and with the same kind of customization which I can with code. The main reason I'm not doing like no code tools, because you've seen this hype of no code tools. Like, people are building $1 billion, $1 million companies just by using no code tools. Like, no disrespect to them, but I would never ever build a anything with no code tools, because I know the limitations of those things. I know if I will have to do some customizations, I'll be spending way more time than I would have started from scratch by my own, because I have the skills, I have the know-how of how to move around in the code base. So these kind of hypes do not affect me at all. Like, it's good to read about these and people getting all scary. I think too much rambling again. So yeah, finally, like, do Devin AI is going to replace software engineers? Again, something I read online or in a podcast. Someone said back in 1960s, when humans sent people on moon, right? We thought, how would our 2024 would look like? We would have a moon base, we would have flying cars, we would have Mars base, but we don't have any of that. So we were overestimating things because we thought we have done something. Similarly, right now, there is AI, and there is this hype